What is up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of From the Booth to the Court. It's your boy Roy, and we are back with another fire video for the channel. Now, if you actually been tuning in to the NBA playoffs, we actually all know that the Milwaukee Bucks just beat the Boston Celtics 4-1. So this video, I'm actually going to be talking about the Celtics squad, all the expectations they had attached to him, and also Kyrie Irving, what I think he may be actually doing going forward in his career.
Okay.
Now, looking at the Boston Celtics, everybody, including myself, had high expectations for them coming in this season. I mean, they was able to make it to the conference finals last year without two of their best players in Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. So everybody thought, just like myself, with those two players coming back, that this team will actually have enough to be able to compete with the Golden State Warriors. I mean, looking at the starting lineups, they both got dope starting lineups, and I actually give the edge to the bench to the Celtics because I thought that the Celtics would basically have a stronger bench than the Warriors, and if all of them can actually be able to come together and play like they did last season in the post-season, I definitely thought that they would be going to the finals out East. But just kind of looking at the other development of the other teams in the East, a lot of teams got better, and they wasn't able to actually find and hit their stride. That actually is not the case of what happened in this year's playoffs. Now, looking at the Boston Celtics, I thought that, they were going to be doing a whole lot better than what they did, throughout the season. They had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of, highs, a lot of lows. Everybody was kind of struggling with their actual, minutes and their position, if they were starting, if they were coming off the bench, what position they were playing in the lineup, and it just basically was a rocky, situation as far as for players playing with the actual Boston Celtics. And then everybody basically was last year, harping how Brad Stevens was possibly the best coach in the league. Is he better than Popovich? This and that. I mean, you was hearing it from all the actual, networks. I mean, Fox Sports was saying it. ESPN was saying it. NBA TV was saying it. And it just was crazy because, Brad Stevens is a dope coach, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't done that much in the NBA to be getting that much praise. Now, you look at this season, and, with the situations of players complaining about their roles and just the team not actually gelling and finding that chemistry, you see those same media outlets saying, oh, well, is Brad Stevens as good as coach as we thought? Everybody is saying that. And it's just crazy to think that how the narrative can switch that fast, basically within a couple months. So looking at the actual Boston Celtics, I definitely think that they didn't live up to the expectations. Everybody knows that. And, it just was basically a tough year for them. Now, I still think that they can actually bounce back from him. I'm not going to say that that team is wrote off and they can't be good next year. No, I'm not going to say that. That team is still going to be good next year. And they definitely got a lot of dope pieces, a lot of valuable pieces that if they want to trade, they can trade for, or if they want to keep and have continued to develop. The young players on that squad are developing and they actually are getting better and better. I like Jaylen Brown. I like Jason Tatum. I like Terry Rozier. I think that they should keep those players. I like Aaron Baines. I'm a Spurs fan. He won a ship with us. Shout out to Aaron Baines. That's my boy. But I like him as well. They got a lot of dope pieces that I feel that they can continue to grow with if they keep the team together. Now, looking at Kyrie Irving. He actually is getting what he wanted, getting what he asked for. He was in a nice situation with Cleveland, with LeBron. They were going to the finals. They were competing, but he actually wanted to leave that situation because he wanted to be his own man. He wanted to have control over his own team. He actually got that situation by going to Boston, but I feel like quickly he learned that, having your own team and being a man is not everything that, you think it is. It's not all it's cracked up to be. With him being, the man, he had to actually deal with different players' egos, dealing with the young players, trying to find their roles or complaining about minutes. It's a lot of stuff that you have to deal with when you're the man of the team. It's a lot of questions that you got to answer, especially with the media. Every time you lose, they're going to blame that on you, or they're going to point the finger at you and ask, what could you have done to make this better or make that better? So it just was a lot of stuff that goes into it that I think that he really didn't think about and possibly wasn't ready for. Now, I'm not going to say anything about him being, the worst leader or a real bad leader, because like people in media, everybody basically has their own opinion of what a player should do or what they would do if they were in that role. But, we can't actually speak. When you're observing something, it's different than actually being in it, because you have the actual time to be able to think about the situation when you're observing it. When you're in it, everything is fast paced and it's all coming on the fly at you. So you really don't have time to sit back and, what can I do about this, or how should I go about this? Because it's all coming in fast paced and it's basically affecting things that are surrounding you, and it's affecting immediately instead of slowly. So I think that, he definitely could be a good leader in the NBA, but he just has to grow. I mean, this is really his first time having a leadership position on a playoff team, because before LeBron got back to Cleveland, Kyrie was the best guy on that team, but that team wasn't having any success. So he wasn't really a leader. He just was the best guy on a team that's doing poorly. So, talking about Kyrie, he has a lot of decisions that he has to make on his own going into this actual summer. Is he going to re-sign with the Celtics? Is he going to, carry his talents elsewhere and possibly look to go into another team? Now, me personally, I think that Kyrie may actually go to another team. And the reason why I say that, because, the narrative of his decision this postseason changed all throughout the year. When the season first started, I think Kyrie was going off the expectations and, how the team did the year before. And he was saying, I'm re-signing to Boston and all this stuff. And I thought he would too, especially, with how good the team was. But with the up and down situation, like, his actual narrative of his decision also changed, because during the middle of the season, he started saying, well, I'm just focused on doing what's best for me. And he really didn't give the Boston Celtics fan that commitment that he actually preached about when the season was starting. So it's actually a crazy thing to look at. But I think that he's possibly going to go to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, in my opinion, I think that would be a good fit, not only for him, but possibly Durant. Because everybody, when they mention Los Angeles, they automatically assume the Lakers. When they mention New York, they automatically assume the New York Knicks. But both of those, franchises, even though they're historic franchises, both those franchises and organizations are struggling with drama right now. I mean, nothing is really going good with either of those franchises. And then plus, if a player was to sign with any of those franchises, they would have to deal with the crazier media frenzy, the crazy media, that goes along with that. If you're with the Lakers, you're going to have media cameras in your face every practice, every time you walk in or leaving it, from the facility. It's just going to be crazy with media. And that would be the same thing with New York. You're going to have to deal with, paparazzi and cameras and everything every time you're just basically trying to go or leave from work and leave from your job. So it's a whole bunch of extra stuff that I know a lot of players don't like dealing with. They don't like having to deal with the media all the time. But looking at the other two franchises that are both in those areas, in Los Angeles, you have the LA Clippers. They actually, are in Los Angeles. They play at the same stadium. So it's like you're still getting that same Los Angeles lifestyle, but you don't have to deal with that big media frenzy that will be attached to if you were signing with the Lakers and being teamed up with LeBron. You still get what you're looking for with less media, which I think is a attractive fact for a player to look at. Plus, they got enough money to get two franchise players, so that's a good thing. Plus, that team made it to the playoffs this year without really having a mega superstar, or having that, one player to rely on. They really just kind of had Lou Williams and a few other players, and they were able to hold their own and battle with Golden State. And on the other spectrum, looking at New York Knicks, like I said, their franchise is struggling. They got rid of Porzingis. They really don't have the pieces that will be enticing except just the New York lifestyle. But why go deal with that franchise and the issues that they're having when you can go to the Brooklyn Nets, which is also in New York, get that same New York lifestyle that you're looking for, but don't have to deal with as much paparazzi or media or stuff like that. And just like the Clippers, that team also went to the playoffs, so they got a good nucleus for you to be able to actually, build with and play around and everything. So I think that, the Brooklyn Nets will be a good spot for Kyrie to possibly land. But hey, those are my opinions on the Celtics as well as Kyrie Irving. If you have different opinions, or if you think the Celtics should do something different, if you think Kyrie is going to be going someplace different or if he's going to stay with the Celtics, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can stay tapped in with the channel, so every time we upload, you can actually see what we're talking about. Because like I said, we don't just do sports here, we do hip-hop, we do art, other facets of entertainment, so you can always be tapped in with us. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel. Again, my name is Roy. This is From the Booth to the Court, and we out.